games, and this came up, and I was like, this needs to be on stream. I cannot wait to see this. And so we have coming up Alpha, TR's own Alpha against Coolkingz. Alpha, Midlands Ridley, well, trying not to play Ridley really hard.
Begrudgingly a Ridley made, yes.
Byleth Joker, I believe, is what Alpha's actually going to try and play, but we never know. Ridley keeps coming out. We never get rid of that character. Always comes back.
It always does. Ridley's always
won the Midlands finale, circuit finale back in May, but since then hasn't really entered.
Yes.
He's taking a break, getting into acting, really loving his life, doing great things, to be honest.
He's been doing incredible stuff with his acting, very much getting into it. But
on the other side of things, we have Coolkingz.
Yes.
So,
should I take it away with Coolkingz?
Oh, go for it. You sound like you've got a lot to say.
Coolkingz as a player, again, he's another one who very much is like this. And he's, sometimes, there's a sort of few wavy lines. Sometimes he doesn't do as well as he hoped. But he's been traveling a lot, and he's been improving a lot. And sometimes, he can get his own head. Sets might not go his way. And he sort of like, and it gets him down, and he feels like, oh man, I've still got to do more. But he's such a grinder. And having traveled recently to New York for Let's Make Big Moves. Very recently. And went on a very good run into 129th place out of, it was a good 1,000 or so. He was one set away from making it out into a top 128, and he was not seeded to do so.
No, I was sat there staring at that bracket, waiting for it to update, like, come on, come on. Just unfortunately not quite there. I believe it's a 2-1 set as well.
Yes, it
from
was.
memory.
It was very close. It was against Peanut, I believe. I think it ended up being a 3-0 in losers.
Oh, was it 3-0 losers?
Against Peanut, but every single game was very, very close. And we were watching a bit of a live stream as well, where people were like phone recording it, so we could see it happen. And every single game was very, very close. And Lil Mac, as always, as a character, is very much a skill check, and when you're facing the literal best of that character, it's always going to be tough.
Yeah,
but regardless, Coolkingz is just a player who is constantly improving and improving. He is piloting that Link to levels we have not seen in the UK before with this character. He's showing that he is a strong force to be reckoned with, that if you see him in his path, you best be ready.
Yeah, for sure.
And the question here is
Alpha ready?
Is Alpha ready? Because as you say, he has been away, but he has always been one of the best players, in the UK. He has taken Pelly to Game 4, being able to beat, out that Sonic. I think even with the Ridley, I believe it was either Ridley or the Byleth that did it.
I don't honestly remember.
It was at one of the invasions, but regardless, he's always been able to put himself up there and sort of like, at that strong level. But of course, like I say, this is going to be an exciting one.
Yes,
we cannot call how this is. He is the theatre kid. You see his bow tie.
Looking very dapper
he
today.
He looks always dapper. I love the lab coat as well.
But it is the Joker. The Joker coming out, not the Byleth, not the Ridley. We're starting with the Joker.
And this is something to be expected, actually. He has been putting a lot of work into that Joker, and has always been one of his best. And of course, Joker's the character. Strong tools, as we all know, absolutely one of the best characters in the game. Has the Arsene, which I think is going to be an important swinging factor in this matchup, because you want to be like sort of just tanking through a lot of these projectiles, because you could just sit there, press that down B button, wait for a boomerang or a bomb or something like that just to hit you, and then, that meter's just charges up, and there comes Arsene.
Yeah, and the question is, how much can Alpha kind of use that meter at the right times, but not get baited out to use it and then get grabbed or get something off that? But a very even start to the game. Both players looking to just kind of feel each other out, see what each player's options are, space out nicely, and we'll just see. The first Arsene is going to be coming out fairly soon, so what can Alpha get done with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Coolkingz just trying to find a way in here, but Alpha doing a really good job of using things like the gun as well, just to interrupt movement there. But Coolkingz here, this is where it's game on, because goes for up B there, but unfortunately doesn't find it. Sadly for Coolkingz, it does put him in a position where he's just, able to take that forward smash to the face, especially with Arsene out as a very much a stock gone.
I feel like Coolkingz saw an opportunity to both get a stock and get rid of Arsene, and kind of overcommitted to doing so.
That was the issue, no, certainly. So Alpha taking a narrow lead here, but as always, Coolkingz certainly within striking distance of taking down. He's on the hunt for it. Taking his time though, which is what you need to do here. You kind of just need to sort of, play your own game. Link's got the tools there. Lovely grab as well. Finds out, kicks him forward, but still not able to find it. Alpha returns back to stage, gets a little bit more damage going.
But I'm honestly kind of worried. Link is a character that's not well known for the consistency of the killing. It's very much a, we're going to win neutral, we're going to win a lot. Doesn't matter I don't kill, because I'm going to do it eventually, and you're not going to be able to get in. But now we're in a situation where a Joker has a lead. And Joker's a character we know can kill so easily with that Arsene, which is about to come out again. And I'm not sure if kind of like Coolkingz has the answers to get back into this game. This lead is just getting bigger and bigger. Arsene is now out. One there, one back air. Situation is just going to take a second stock here, and with Reflector now out as well, with a much better down B coming out from Arsene.
There we go. Okay, finally. I love the patience that Coolkingz was displaying, though. When that Arsene came out, he just said, no, I am not playing this game. I saw how stock 1 went. I am not overcommitting. I am taking my time. I'm going to wait for my opportunity. And that opportunity was that forward air, which he found, takes the stock away. I feel like he's now beginning to understand what he needs to do in the different situations. Like here, he's being very much a bit more aggressive. He's throwing out these nairs, committing even for things like that up B as well. He would not have done that with Arsene out. But now, because he knows he's a bit safer here, he's going for it.
Yeah, and that patience is going to be key. And honestly, getting that kill when he did, I think had to happen. Otherwise, it just felt like this game was going to get run away from. And the question is he going to do the same thing with this Arsene? Is he going to space it out nicely? And it looks like the answer is very much yes. Very nice nair, using these boomerangs to space. Every time Alpha gets in, nope, not going near this, rolling away, getting out of that situation. Ooh, but then now Arsene just says, you made one mistake in that 30 seconds, well, you're dead for it. Tough luck.
Absolutely lovely catch there from Alpha. You saw him in the player cam as well, just breathing a sigh of relief. I think he was actually a little bit worried that this Arsene was going to go away and he wasn't going to be able to find the stock. But regardless, Coolkingz, does have Alpha at 98%. That is no small number at all. And certainly, he is on the hunt for it, trying to go for the forward airs, but the low recovery from Alpha going to avoid him entirely. Gets a bit more of his damage going. A small combo leads to 41%. Coolkingz finds that forward tilt though, to take the stock away, and we got even stocks. And Arsene not really on the, slowly approaching, but not on the horizon just yet.
No, not quite. Though you say that.
Oh, and there we
it's
go.
There, right there.
Why do I ever doubt that Arsene's going to be out? But this is good timing, actually, for Coolkingz. He wants Arsene to appear now, where they're still at these kind of sort of mid to high percentages, rather than to appear in a last hit situation.
The last thing you want to be is at 90 and Arsene appears and you're like, I now can't interact with anything you have. Whereas at 60, you're like, you...
Oh, and that's so unfortunate because he had a really... Coolkingz was actually playing that so nicely as well.
100%.
That was a really nice recovery option. Able to get a bit more damage going on there. If he kept himself a bit more grounded, that absolutely would have been perfect. Could have been led to a very scary situation where Alpha would have lost Arsene and then had to find a way to deal with, just being alone out there as solo Joker. No Arsene, but then Coolkingz obviously having more tools like that boomerang, the forward airs, and even moves like the forward smash, etc. Up smash, would have definitely swung things. So that was game 1.
Yeah, what a game
that
one
was very close. That definitely could have swung over way. It was certainly Alpha, I think, took charge of the game, but Coolkingz never really let it slip.
But it feels like Alpha only really took charge because Coolkingz let him. It wasn't so much Alpha finding the advantage himself, it was Coolkingz overstepping and Alpha going, thank you very much, I will take that on a silver platter and run with it.
Yeah, like
and
that
he
up B.
nearly ran with it, but Coolkingz was like, oh, okay, I've let you get a bit of a lead, but I'm just going to grab on and hold and you're not going to get too far away from me. The question is, if Coolkingz doesn't give Alpha the head start in this game too, can Alpha actually find that advantage himself to find that lead and start running?
Yeah, and I already like actually what I'm seeing immediately from Coolkingz actually. We've got some very sort of aggressive gameplay where he's throwing out these boomerangs, throwing out his projectiles, going just a lot more on the aggressive. Arsene does come out here, so we'll probably see Coolkingz revert back to a very defensive gameplay, but he's at a percentage where he can be fairly comfortable and sort of just, wail away with these projectiles, throw those boomerangs out, use the arrows, just generally the bombs, everything, just kind of wait out this Arsene, and generally not let Alpha get close to you.
Yeah, and every arrow, every boomerang you hit on Arsene is just taking that meter down and taking it away. And like you said last game, that was a very nice percent.
What a catch, though. My goodness.
I
Alpha
was
just
not
said,
ready
you
for
know,
that.
that was the very last interaction that Arsene did as well. That thing was gone immediately afterwards. But Alpha just said, you know what? I see an opportunity. Smack. But Coolkingz keeping himself calm. You know, gets that forward there, takes the stock away. Only 7%. So we've got very even two-stock game here.
Yeah, it was great to see Alpha kind of, like you said, snatching that opportunity that he didn't have to do in game one and showing, yeah, I can find that opportunity myself. But then Coolkingz going, no, we've done this before. Yeah. Get back here. Yeah. We're evening this up, and it's my game this time. And we'll see if he can make good on that in his stock. But Alpha's managing to find slowly but surely a decent amount of percent in this stock. And the question is, can Coolkingz kind of get the going like in Star Wars? This is getting going. The down throw, forward throw off stage in a ledge situation. Arsene is out though. The question is, what are we going to do, Coolkingz? Are we going to step off the gas, or are we going to try and knock this Arsene down?
Oh my goodness! Alpha is certainly feeling it. Gets a big read there, but a beautiful bomb recovery from Coolkingz. Keeps himself alive, but 124. I love the patience actually as well, just to wait out a little bit more. Again, another tech. You know Coolkingz is always going to hit those bomb recoveries. And something that actually I'm really liking from Coolkingz that I've never seen from his play before, Coolkingz is typically always bomb recovered and gone high.
Okay.
He normally likes to go to the other side of the stage away from his opponent. I have seen it time and time again in his set. But here I am seeing him snap to the ledge, going into the stage, taking it, snap into the ledge. It is a riskier option,
for sure.
but it works beautifully, and that is why he's been able to deal with this Arsene. It's gone, it's slowly coming back, but he was able to do it the first time.
That Joker back throw is just going to manage to steal that stock away, though. So the question is, what can we do? Because Arsene's nearly out. We really need to get this kill now, reset that Arsene meter and get ourselves into an even situation. But I don't know, Alpha's starting to feel it out a lot more, play it a lot more slowly, go, I just need this extra percent. Whatever it is, I need some of it. And the question is, can Coolkingz kind of get that stock now or wait out this Arsene? And he does beautifully.
Absolutely incredible patience from Coolkingz. Again, running away from that Arsene, even in the face of danger, did not worry about it, just finds that stock, and again, that gets ready to Arsene. Still all to play for in this game too. Alpha does hold a bit of a lead, but it is only 40% or so separating them. It can certainly climb, but Coolkingz can pile on that damage quickly if Alpha is not ready.
Yeah, but I think Alpha is playing super well spaced, playing really slowly, kind of just moving around, getting around the projectiles and going, one back air out, another back air out. And that has just slowly raised this percent up. And the question is, what answer does Coolkingz have? Because right now it just feels like Alpha's like, I know what your game plan is now, and I've got the answers. And you've got to change this up, otherwise this set is over. 90%. When this Arsene comes out, this is terrifying. Link is definitely at kill percent. Coolkingz needs to get something going now, or, I don't know, panic, very much panic when this Arsene comes out in a couple of seconds.
It is slowly approaching. You can see that pink bar has nearly reached the top, but Alpha just using a bit of solo Joker tech there. Gets the down smash, doesn't take the kill just yet, but 135, and there's the Arsene. You hear the crowd cheer as well. This is a terrifying position for Coolkingz to be in. He has got to deal with this. He's got to find hits, but he's got to be so careful.
One misstep and this is set over for Coolkingz, and a loser's run incoming. But getting the juggles going, starting to get this Arsene knocked down. One more hit and Arsene is gone. This is an even game now, really, without Arsene. Keeps the edge guard situation going. Tether gets broken.
And he has got a recovery. Coolkingz reversing that situation, taking for the brink of despair, the brink of defeat, and snatching that victory away. Game 2 going to Coolkingz. This set is alive.
And this set is exactly what I hoped it would be, for sure.
But just what absolute incredible composure from Coolkingz to be at 130% or whatever it was. It's a very high number, and still just to combat away at Arsene. A lot of people would be shaking in their boots in that kind of position. One misstep would have led to just one F tilt, one back air, even a foe could have been enough.
Yeah, for sure. You cannot approach that Arsene. It's just run away. Can I get a little bit off that Arsene meter? Was that arrow, that boomerang? And
Yeah.
Coolkingz just went, I've got one. He got one hit, I think, of arrow,
Yeah.
and then went, I can get a boomerang off that.
Yeah.
I can get a bomb off that. And off that, just took this Arsene that was so scary and went, it's gone.
Yeah.
Just completely. And then went, you've not got Arsene anymore.
No.
Sees the tether recovery, goes out for the nair, hits it. Fantastically played. There's nothing else that can be taken away from that apart from just fantastic play. And this game 3, I don't even know. It's anyone's game.
You cannot call it. We are sitting a change up. Going to town for this one. This set is alive. This is the last game. One of these two is moving on. One of these two going to have to fall down to the shark pit known as losers.
Yeah, and losers in this tournament, not a place you want to be, even more so than usual. But what do you think of this Town and City pick? Because last game there were 2 situations where Link Bomb recoveries kind of got Coolkingz out of a situation where I don't think on Town he's getting out of that situation. You're dead if you go that far off the stage.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think like kind of just having that slightly bigger stage as well is maybe it's sort of just actually a chance for Alpha to kind of it gives a bit more space to work with, because actually we saw Alpha actually being a bit more kind of sort of defensive in that game too as well.
Yeah.
He was actually like not necessarily just playing up in Link's face. He was kind of actually sort of just waiting for his opportunities. And here actually, he's also just eliminating a few platforms as well that Coolkingz would have liked to use. You know, obviously we do revert to that final destination, sort of stage eventually, but. It is an interesting stage choice. I feel like Alpha maybe this is just potentially a comfort pick, something he likes doing. You know, having those kind of like just bigger stage, better sort of platforms to work with. You know, they can always go to.
Alpha is finding these approaches in a really, really smart way. All that really nice back air. And before Arsene comes out as well, which means Coolkingz has to be scared. And Alpha's in a position where he could tack on a lot of extra percent here, for sure. But you did say earlier that Coolkingz likes that high bomb recovery, and we did just see that coming out from Coolkingz. So it does still mix it up, but this Arsene is doing work.
Yeah, this is looking scary and scarier for Coolkingz actually. After how close game 2 was, Alpha has very much just taking full control of the pace of this game here. 65% free stocks going at 114% and climbing 2 stocks on Coolkingz. He's going to have to pull off a bit of a comeback here because he's struggling to even find the hits that he wants to. And maybe this is where the stage is actually coming a bit of sort of handy here, because Alpha can very much just play a lot more defensive. He can actually like, sort of use that down B, just jump between the platforms. He can do whatever really he wants to. He just has that space to work with.
Oh, that was some suspect DI, it felt like on that.
That was very much, yeah, that's tough, yeah. Alpha now, of course, going down to 3 stocks, yeah, and Coolkingz just on 1. We're going to have to see a hell of a comeback here. We know Coolkingz can do it, but you've got to battle through a lot of Arsene interactions, which obviously we go on a lot about.
But that's a great way to get started.
It's such a prevalent factor. But yes, as you say, that's how you get started. This is how a comeback begins. Take that first stock away, deal with 1 stock at a time, play as defensively as you can. Do not risk any options.
Yeah, and I think when you're in this position as Coolkingz, it is really just focusing on that. All right, I need to take this stock. Now I need to get 10%, 20%. It's taking it incrementally and not thinking about that gigantic mountain that's actually in front of you, but to think of that manageable step you can actually make. And this is looking a bit better, but it still feels like Alpha's kind of finding ways in where he can, and he doesn't need to get a lot off into each interaction. A trade is fine for Alpha on every single one.
And they're just jabbing away at each other there. Just 1-2s.
Question is this Arsene. We get past this Arsene, and I think we've got a potential game. But
okay, lovely. Gets that nair, confirms into a grab. But as you say, the Arsene, if Coolkingz deal with this, it will look better and better. I feel like Coolkingz has certainly been playing this stock very, very nicely here, actually. He's been battling away, quite not risking too many options. 88%, it is, it's no small number, but it's not too bad. It's not outside the realms of possibility, especially if he can find a stock soon.
Yeah, and there were some really, really close calls in that Arsene interaction. Dash tag not quite hitting, a back air that got air dodged through. So Coolkingz is definitely playing on the edge right now, definitely just finding every single minuscule advantage he can try and get out of disadvantage. And can I get away with it? The question is, he needs to kill. How is he going to do it? That's not a bad effort, to be honest, but not quite going to do it. Some good DI out of Alpha. Gets off ledge, goes to the reversal back air. The bomb recovery gets him back onto stage.
And that's what I really like, actually. That was a good bomb recovery. I think sort of just putting himself a bit more sort of towards the right, you know, rather than keeping himself on the down. But there we go. This is where we're back again, folks. Coolkingz 137 last stock. Alpha 9% on his last stock. Game 3, all to play for here. Coolkingz mounted this comeback, well, this kind of comeback before, and was able to deal with it. Can he do it again?
I think the answer might be yes, but the question is, Arsene, what have you got? What's the answer? How are you getting through this? Up tilt. Looks to the other. Back air coming out of
and
Arsene.
that does it. And Alpha, yo, hands to his face. He is
Relief.
elated. Yes, that was
Relief,
sheer relief in his face there. But my goodness, again, Coolkingz is showing that he can make those comebacks happen out of nowhere.
Look over there, Adam. Alpha's just there shaking his head going,
Yeah.
oh, how I nearly dropped that.
Yeah.
2-stock, I nearly dropped that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ridiculous. And Coolkingz as well as a player has always had a very sort of strong mental. Sometimes, you know, he can kind of affect when he does lose, but in game, he's always had such a strong mental power. And he knows that never to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the face of disaster. Because a lot of players there would have been in Coolkingz' position where you're facing 3 stocks to 1. And it is looking scarier and scarier. Your damage is piling up. You're getting to like the 80s, the 90s, and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I actually going to make any kind of comeback here? I've got to play out my mind against someone that has a comeback factor. But still was able to make it happen. So